Oh, there you are, YouTube. So it's Criterion season right now. Basically what that means is Barnes & Noble, they are doing their 50% off sale on Criterion titles, and all of that sort of got me to thinking about some of my favorite Criterions in my collection, or at least my most prized possessions, and I sort of realized that I think I have the best movie that has ever been put on Criterion, has ever been added to the Criterion collection, and that movie is Ghostbusters. I think this is one of my most prized possessions when I think of every Criterion that I own, which isn't that many, but this one is probably the one I'm most proud of, or at least one of the ones I'm most proud of. And I haven't even watched it. I haven't watched this Laserdisc here because I don't have a Laserdisc player, but I just love owning this. And one of my favorite aspects about it is the cover, because when we look at Ghostbusters cover art, like on VHS or posters, usually Winston's not included in the first film in terms of cover art. It's just the first three because, as you know from the movie, that he's hired later after the fact. They all work together and they needed another Ghostbuster, and then in comes Ernie Hudson. So that's one of my favorite aspects already, is that Ernie Hudson is on the cover there. And right there, as you can see, it says the Criterion Collection. This copy has a little bit of damage. There's slight bending right there, a couple scuffs up there. We have the glowing Ghostbusters sign. I guess when I say it's glowing, it doesn't actually glow. It doesn't have that to it, but you know how the letters kind of glow on the outside there. But yeah, this is gotta be one of my most favorites from my collection. Winston and Peter, they were always my favorites as a kid. So again, it's just great to have Winston on the cover. The Criterion Collection knew he should be there, so I'm glad about that. Here's some information on the back. I'll probably show that in close-up in a moment here. And then we got the disc there, or the record, I guess, disc, laser disc, right? Let's see if I can be careful with this. Pull this out. Mirror image. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll just read it. The Criterion Collection, Ghostbusters. 1984 is the movie, but this was released, added to the collection, the Criterion Collection, in '89. Has side 1, extended play. Side 2. Side 2 includes the theatrical trailer and one other thing. We'll find out when we look at the back. But yeah, we got that disc there. Let me see if I can put that back. Very large, like a record. I think the first time I didn't know anybody with any laser discs when I was growing up, but my school, my high school, had a Laserdisc player that my biology teacher would use. She had some laser discs with stuff on it, but I don't think I knew anybody that actually had one. Maybe someday I will get one just so that I can play this. But let's take a look at the back. So here it is in full, really quick, but let's take a look close up. Starting here, we have the Ghostbusters logo, and then the Criterion Collection, a continuing series of both classics and imported contemporary films on Laserdisc, presents Ghostbusters. And here we have a lot of text sort of about the film. I'll spend about 5 seconds on each paragraph in case you want to pause and take a look. But give some additional reading, some text to go along with the film itself. Sort of about the concept, the actors, where we know them from, etc. Here's the second column. The text is presented in 2 columns. Discussion on the making of the film, the script, and that text by Don Shea. Also, some information on special features, which I forgot before, but here it says the original theatrical trailer and theatrical teaser, okay, are presented on side 2 after the completion of the film. It is presented in its original widescreen format. We have the cast and credits here. Bill Murray, top billed, followed by Dan Aykroyd, whose concept this was. Then we got Sigourney before we move on to Egon. And, of course, Winston by Ernie Hudson is there. We got Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, great cast. Producer-director, Ivan Reitman. Screenplay, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis. Oh yeah, there we go. Ghostbusters, the theme song, written and performed by Ray Parker Jr. Then over here we have the disc sides, the chapter information, chapter 1, prologue credits, etc. We have, let's read through these. Professor Venkman, Ghost in the Stacks, Ghostbusters is born, Dana meets Zool, the first customer, checking out Dana's house. We got one. He slimed me. Actually, he got one. That's over there. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. Wow, look at that. That is a title there. That's fun. Ghost Fever grips New York. At the water fountain. The 600-pound Twinkie. Oh, that's great. Man, I love that. That's a big Twinkie. The Terror Dogs. Then moving on to side 2. Dana Possessed. The Keymaster. Judgment Day. The EPA shuts down the grid. Spirits terrorize New York. Ghostbusters in jail. The Keymaster meets the Gatekeeper. Meeting the Mayor. Let's run some red lights. 35 flights to Gozer. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Crossing the Streams. Out the Other Side. And then chapters 27 and 28, that's when we get the theatrical teaser and the original theatrical trailer. Here we have the length of the film. It's presented in color and made in '94. And then underneath that, we have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here, walking through the city. Right here, first printing, 1989. Will they bring Ghostbusters back to the Criterion? A 4K Ghostbusters Criterion. Would that be fun? That'd be pretty cool. Have all sorts of information on it. Again, 84 is when the film was made. 89 is when it was added to the Criterion Collection. There we go. And that is my Criterion Ghostbusters Laserdisc. I got this from my wife and kids. It was maybe either last Christmas or my last birthday last year. I've had it for some time, but I just hadn't shown it yet. But I think, again, right now during the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble seemed like a good time to do it, so I figured I would show it off. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout. Here's how I usually keep it: in a frame.